So, there's been some pretty big changes since we last made a video. So first of all, the matchmaking below level 15 has gone. There is now only one normal kind of matchmaking again. Warlock has received multiple nerfs. The loot has been incredibly buffed. But it has actually been reverted a little bit in the most recent hotfix. Warlock has received multiple nerfs, including Eldritch shields for less now, and I believe costs more health maybe as well. Summon Hydra now costs 20 health instead of 15. And also, extra healing you got added to Torture Mastery has been halved from Magical Healing. So Magical Healing is now only 25% as effective on Torture Mastery. It used to be 50%. So Magical Healing significantly nerfed. And basically, okay, so all of our gear had been completely changed as of yesterday. All the attributes, or all of the modifiers, were completely different, but it looks like it's been reverted now, and we have mostly what we had before with, for example, these weapon damage stats were gone, and it was replaced with something else completely random. They also lowered multiple of these attributes, such as action speed. This originally was 2%, and then it got nerfed down to 1.5%, but then it got reverted to 2%. So the game's been having a bit of a mess recently. Especially seeing as yesterday they actually reverted it back to a day before, and yesterday there was huge rollback issues with their servers, but hopefully now it's mostly all fixed and okay. We will be weaker than we were before due to some of our gear taking, like I believe this ring used to give 2 agility as the base attribute, and now only gives 1, and maybe a few of these other things used to be a little bit different. I can't really remember at this point. But, yeah, with our class also being a little bit weaker, mainly from the Torture Mastery healing, and also the extra health costs on Summon Hydra, Eldritch Shield having 15 less magic shielding, and also the damage bonus, which didn't really use that often to be honest, also got reduced a bit, but whatever, that's not really that big of a deal. They did buff Ray of Darkness, but I don't think with this current build we want to be using anything like that. But I think for now, we'll just see how it feels and get back into the game. We will of course be going Goblin Caves, not Howling Crypts, for now. So now that we're back to playing against whatever levels, we're not only playing against level 15, I didn't actually notice anyone who looked as geared as us in the lobby. So we're still probably out gearing most of these people. I mean, we are quite geared on this Warlock. Just gotta be careful of these elites and things. I really dislike this spawn, honestly. So we are still two-shotting goblins with headshots with our weapons now, with the weapon damage that we've got back. As I said, that was basically completely removed from our gear before. So the interesting thing now about the loot is chests are significantly buffed. So we want to be opening as many chests as we can. I already hear some pots breaking, so someone's pretty close. Those Lightfoot boots are pretty good, you know. And of course we'll take another campfire kit. I believe I actually hear someone through here, so let's go take a look. Let's actually look for a bit of PvP. Sounds like a cleric. I think I can hear them buffing themselves. The rubber banding also has been a little bit worse than usual recently. I'm not sure if they're actually in here, because these bats would have triggered. Wow, we actually one-shot. Oh, there we go. Took a hit. Get our dots on him. Heal up as much as we can. Can we please stop getting stuck? We did just use that Blur of Corruption on PvE, which I don't like. Okay, well, he does not want to do that. I did hit him there with that final Power of Sacrifice. He's definitely going to be feeling this. I'm honestly surprised this guy's still alive. Okay, we did actually take him out. Oh, damn. First death. 2 people. I wish I could have checked the gear of that guy. This guy's gotta be low. Not too low, actually. I should have tried to kite him out a bit more. He was trying to cast spells. About time we finally died, though. Hopefully he can enjoy that gear. Oh, he had a blue falchion. He was actually pretty geared for having no chest piece. I wish I could have seen how geared that cleric was. Again, cleric a very favoured matchup for us. He kept trying to earthquake us for some reason. He can't do that. I'm just going to stand still. Earthquake's a very weak spell if I'm not getting attacked by PvE or he has teammates to back him up. So, there we go. Finally, first death. So now at this point, it's time to decide what we want to do. I think I do want to try a more... Oh, I didn't notice we actually had 2 spellbooks with magical healing. I did actually want to try a more caster-oriented build. However, with the recent nerfs to the magical healing, and especially the Hydra, it might be pretty rough to get enough magical healing to actually do something like that. However, I'm looking at this now. We do have quite a lot of gear with additional healing. So we might try something like that. We do have, you know, there's 1 more gear set. Now, I'm a bit disappointed we died there. I definitely could have played that a bit better, played a bit less greedier, and we probably would have came out alive, but hey, I'm not too disappointed. We had a very good run, living for a very long time. Do we have anything else? No, we don't really have any useful helmets, gloves. The necks aren't too amazing that we have, but we'll probably just take something like probably just something like this badger pendant. This will be okay. Now, we can't actually trade, but we can go to the merchants and see if they've got anything nice for us. But they did also, again, reduce how many items that are available from the merchants and also the rarity of them. So it's unlikely for us to find anything good for us, really. We could pick up some gloves, but we might just pick up these reinforced gloves or potentially these riveted gloves. Let's go for these riveted gloves. Now, we do also probably want to bring in a melee weapon, just to have something to back up our spellbook, especially for PvE, mainly. So, let's honestly probably go with... We could try this halberd. The only thing with the halberd is you're so slow when you're moving that I don't actually like it that much. I think let's actually take the longsword. The longsword's honestly not too much better than the halberd for move speed, but let's try it. Now, I imagine this gear set with all this magical healing will actually be worth quite a bit. If I were to play that fight in the first one again, I would definitely play it differently. I'm a bit out of practice on the wall because I haven't played it for a few days. Not to make excuses, but I definitely should have played it slower. Oh my god, why can I not? Okay, I guess my spacing's really off with the melee so far. Grey Lantern's not really worth too much. I do want to cast a few spells. I don't care if I miss, because I want to test to see how our magical healing is. You know, that's pretty good. That's not too bad. I had no idea how big or small it was really going to be. We have quite a lot on our gear. So obviously this would have been almost twice as effective pre-nerf. But it's not too bad. I mean, Warlock's healing was a little bit ridiculous, honestly. If you could stack some defensives, you were just basically unkillable. Let's bait this attack, take him out with our longsword. So we do actually... was that a player there? Ew. How does he hit me there? This longsword feels like it's doing actually very high damage, even without Blow of Corruption. So again, I do think that they... Why did you just randomly aggro? Let's try and heal up off of it. Again, this healing is still crazy. No other class can really come close to that. Cleric in solo doesn't particularly care about it. It can heal so much just from its lesser heals, and you quite often find clarity potions or healing potions to top off your healing as Cleric. The only reason I'm not really wanting to play Cleric too much solo at the moment is just how bad the 1v1 matchup is against Warlock. Warlock, you just can't really do anything, because you saw against that guy. If he came into melee with me, he was going to eat a Blow of Corruption Falchion to the face for like, you know, probably 70 damage, probably a good big chunk of his health. If he stays at range, I'll just Curse of Pain him, Power of Sacrifice him, Eldritch Shield myself, and he can't do anything. Also, if they wear plate, you're just faster than them. Especially if you're not using the setup like I was. If you're just using a spellbook as a warlock, you're going to be so much faster than him. You can just outmaneuver. But again, he did get a decent amount of damage off on us, I guess. I did also miss a few spellcasts. So we had the Bard that third party does was... Wow, also I just noticed 3 people have died to PvE so far. The Bard just was in the right place at the right time, unfortunately. So a blue hatchet, that's not even that rare anymore. Green gold bowl, that's quite nice, we'll take that. This hatchet, honestly, it's not really worth us taking, but I guess we might as well. For now, we have nothing better. Careful of the mages. Look at that homing. Wait, what? That hit me? Okay. It's even crazier, I guess. Let a few ticks of my dots go, get a bit more health. Actually, let's just heal up to 4 while he's healing. And then finish him with a few longsword jabs. I'm not sure what I think about the loot change. Especially now that they've reduced it a bit, it might be a bit better. It was interesting. It definitely played more like a battle royale, I saw people were saying quite a lot, in the sense that every game you were going in with nothing and then quickly finding a decent loadout of mostly blues. It definitely was a big shake-up to the game. But was it a good one? I'm not 100% sure about that, really. I didn't really have enough time with it to develop my opinion on it. I definitely would have tested it for longer. I wasn't someone who absolutely hated it. I did see that there was quite a lot of complaining on the Discord and probably also the Reddit, but I didn't check regarding it. But I do think that was also partially due to them changing the affixes that people had on their gear. That was quite an unusual change. I don't think they really should have done that. Like, our Warlock gear was literally completely different. Everything had completely different modifiers. Well, not every single thing. Like, the falchion action speed stayed the same, but basically everything else was completely different. All the weapon damage was gone. I think even some stats like the magical healing was gone. This is probably going to be a rather uneventful game, with how many deaths there were so early. That's actually the first time I've fought multiple people at the same time in this... Actually, no, it's not. It happened in one of the other videos. There was the 2 wizards fighting that I tried to third party. Or, he killed him, like, right as I got there. So, yeah. It's the first time I've personally been fighting someone and been third partied, I guess. Which, of course, is always when you're at the disadvantage. I wish I did at least get to see that guy's gear before. I definitely should have tried to play it slower and just kite him out a bit longer, get my dots on him. He did have a crossbow to be careful of, but the thing is in the Goblin Caves is there's so many like little corners and edges and stuff that you can hide behind. You can close the gap relatively easily. It's not like ruins. Like, certain parts of ruins when there's just no cover out. Too busy talking. You're just gonna get absolutely lit up by an archer or someone with a bow or something like that. Blue survival bow. Eh. Who really wants survival bows? Can't use it myself either and can't trade yet. It's not really worth saving to trade. Healing potion. Not sure if you can really tell how much the loot's buffed by yet. I guess we have seen quite a few blues. They just haven't been the most useful or impactful blues. And, as I said, they did still nerf modifiers on loot. So loot's not as strong as it was before. But, you know, a blue is still going to be stronger than a white. except from very niche scenarios. Like, apparently debuff bonus duration actually increases debuff length on yourself, rather than, like, enemies. Or maybe it does both, but it's really weird and not what I'd expect. I haven't actually heard basically anything in this regarding to other players, so I guess we're just having a pretty chill lobby where we can get... Okay. He's just gonna leave. Boring. Alright, well, as I'm saying that there's no one, immediately someone, but he just leaves. That's fair enough. He probably had something on him that he didn't really want to risk. Or maybe he just didn't want to fight a Warlock, but I do feel like the matchup is probably favored for Ranger versus Warlock. Unless you're at close range like that with a longsword, I'm just going to get in his face and Blow of Corruption him. Especially if I Phantomize, that's really nice. Oh, that's actually a decent Viking helm, but again, it's probably not worth trading for, and I also can't even trade yet on this character. Soon we should be hitting level 15 and getting our fourth perk. I'm hearing footsteps, but I think it's just going to be, yeah, goblins. We don't really need to cheese these. Let's just try and get a bit more money. And then we can make our way out of here. I would like to loot a few of these chests if possible. Where did that... It spawned up here, okay. We'll probably just take this, actually. Very uneventful lobby. Take a bit of damage from traps on the way out, but it's fine. Guess I should take these things to vendor, but we'll just go for a quick reset and come back in. Didn't really find anything too much of value. Level 14 now. 61 gold from trinkets. Oh, 65 gold from trinkets, or whatever it was. And then a little bit more from the silver coins. Extra 16 gold. Found this white falchion. Let's also sell this hatchet. We'll keep the white falchion just so we can use it if we want to. 7 gold. Really pathetic amount of gold from blue items to the vendor. I feel like they should buff that. Probably. Because, I don't know, a lot of blue items just trade to the vendor, or trade to players for, you know, a lot more than 7 gold at least. Even if it is like a subpar item. I always enjoy using the longsword. The only thing is with the longsword, it's a very... I feel like the skill cap with this weapon is very high just because of the parrying. If you can hit some parries, you get like a huge damage buff. Oh, that rubber band. Which really makes you lethal if you can get parries, but it takes a lot of trial and error or research to know how to parry like every mob, every weapon. Someone's shooting. It could have been an archer at us. Again, I'm still not really too sure where the spawns out there. There's a player. What is that? That's a ranger. He looks base kit. We're probably gonna have to just keep spam cursing him. Oh, that's not good. Let's drop down here. I missed the power of sacrifice on him, so I actually dotted myself. Oh. The archers behind me. Please. I think I'm gonna have to just try and run here. If I get... All the mobs are on me, unfortunately. So, like, I think I'm just dead. Yeah, that sucks. I shouldn't have played too aggressive. I shouldn't have dropped. Although, he's probably going to die to the mobs now as well. Or maybe he can... If just one of these archers didn't hit me, we would have been in a pretty good scenario to kill this guy, I think. I don't think he can loot me. That's, I guess, the problem with not having Falchion and Crystal Ball. When you have to deal with mobs whilst you're trying to PvP, you're just nowhere near as effective. He probably can actually take out these mobs fairly easy now. If I had Phantomize, I would have preferred myself in that situation much more. Thinking about it, I probably actually should have went Phantomize if I wanted to play a more spellcaster-oriented build. That was probably a poor setup. Oh my god, I think he just dies to the dot now. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Alright. Well, I suppose in this one, we'll actually try a 0 to hero run. We do have a bit of money, but we're not able to really buy anything too useful from the vendors. Thinking about it, in that death, that was very avoidable. As soon as I saw it's a ranger, I probably shouldn't have actually... Ooh. Hey, that's pretty good. I probably shouldn't have tried to fight him in such an open area. I also should have made sure I didn't miss my Power of Sacrifice, or just not risked it if I thought there was a chance I could miss it, because that thing absolutely destroys your health bar if you miss it yourself. If you miss it and hit yourself with it. I also probably shouldn't have tried to longsword him. I should have just continued spamming him with spells. We had quite a lot of magical healing, but you can definitely feel the nerf they did to it. I mean, they did straight up just half it, basically. I didn't feel like I could have dotted the mobs too much, but maybe I also could have just done that. Okay, we already got a Falchion, that's quite nice. Now it's back to seeing the default healing from just Torture Mastery and Vampirism. You can definitely tell, like, how much of a reduction it is not having magical healing on your gear. I almost missed that and just got chunked out. Oh. Let's actually not kill it so the dots can tick us up a bit. Okay, good enough. But I also took a... With my loadout, I definitely think I actually should have took Phantomize. But anyway, this gives us an opportunity to open some chests and upgrade basically everything. Our boots are actually decent though. These are pretty nice boots to find from the first one. So nothing we can really use there. I do really like the Crystal Ball Falchion setup, but I'm not sure if it's the best. I don't think it is, to be honest, because you're just so slow. You're like as slow as a having a halberd out. And you can definitely feel how just incredibly slow you are when you pull out a two-hander from having just the spellbook or just a one-hander or something like that. You can definitely feel the gear loss. I mean, this Falchion is 4 damage below that green one we had before. I don't really know what we're looking for here. Now that the vendors can't sell anywhere near as much gear as they used to, I feel like going for just money extracts are nowhere near as effective now. You know, as soon as you hit level 15 again, you can trade, you can just buy everything, but the trading in this game just takes so long. Maybe it's just because I'm slow with it, but... What's that? Is that a player? No, it's a zombie. Ugh. Blood corruption wasted on the door, unfortunate. I thought that zombie was going to be allergic to the spike trap. I feel like they definitely need to decide what direction they want to take the game in, because it feels like they almost don't really want trade. Or at least maybe the player base don't really like trade just because of the system they currently have implemented is probably one of the worst trading systems I've seen. I would much prefer an auction house system or something like that. I think the vast majority of people would. But hey, that could be wrong. Soon we should be hitting level 15, so we should actually experience some trading things. I probably won't show it in the video. I don't know, I might. But I do also like doing 0 to hero runs quite a lot. I mean, I definitely didn't intend for us to live as long as we did in the first run. Because that was crazy. This weren't... We were even taking out geared players, like, no issue really. These bowler slingers are so inconsistent. Sometimes they just insta-hit you, sometimes they take ages to wind up. Probably gotta be my least favorite PvE mob, just because of how unpredictable they are. Again, lots of people dying, already. We might have another quite relaxed run when it comes to PvE. I do need to remember though, now that we don't have magical healing, damage will stick a bit more. Oh, I did not even see this goblin. The poison from the goblins just does so much. Well, one thing that I was thinking about is now that we have died, thinking about expanding into other classes, trying out different builds, seeing how those go for us. I think that could be interesting. Warlock is not my main class. I don't really have so much of a main class. I probably primarily play Fighter, Wizard, and I don't know, Rogue or something? But I do dabble in basically everything a little bit. So, if you guys want to see other classes, let me know in the comments. I probably will think about that for the next ones. However, this is my only class that's below level 15, except Bard. I don't enjoy Bard. Although solo Bard could be interesting, because you're not going to be a support if you're playing solo. Plus the perk that makes instruments do 50% more damage makes the drums look really fun to use. Could be fun to try and get a bunch of drums and just run out. Run through goblin caves drumming people. This is a bowler slinger? Yeah. A month for it. Like, you see? They're so inconsistent. Lantern. I picked that up, thank you. So, already 4 players dead. 7 in total, 2 others could potentially be somewhere. And if you do want to see other classes, let me know which other classes you'd like to see. I'll probably do more of a variety, but I'll probably play them in like mini-series. We could do like 0 to Hero series, kind of as we did for our first life in this. I felt very attached to that Warlock, whilst we hadn't died to it, as the whole run was on video. I'm a bit disappointed that it ended like that, but I definitely could have played it better. A lot. Ooh, what's happened here? There's a giant spider. So this thing actually can drop some of the rare crafting materials. It's actually not that tanky either. Just need to make sure I don't get hit by this bloody archer. Yeah, these things aren't actually that tanky. Even though, I assumed, when I first saw them, I assumed it'd be like a mini-boss or something. It's definitely not. Or it might be classed as one, but it has significantly less health than anything I would have expected. We could actually move into High Roller and do a few matches of that and see how that feels. I haven't actually done any High Roller Goblin Caves. I actually haven't done any High Roller at all, so that could be an interesting switch up. I don't actually know where the lever to open this is. I suppose first of all let's open this, just so we can leave when we need to. I assume we're, you know, either on our own or virtually on our own at this point. Ooh, this chest down here. Quite a few mobs. Ooh, can't be missing those. If possible, I would like to try and at least see if that chest is unlocked. Ouch. Can you not? He's still alive. I'm honestly shocked. Oh, that's a player shooting at me. Alright. Suppose we'll just be leaving. I don't really feel like, again, dying to another ranger whilst we're trying to PvE. Yeah, he was basically base kit as well. I could have got a bunch of his little trinkets and things, but... I feel like we were definitely at a disadvantage with that setup that we had going on there with all the mobs being on us. See how much we made from our trinkets and things. 94 gold, so we're up to 650 gold. We can also get a bit more from... Oh, I actually missed a... nothing. Extra 4. A little bit extra from the silvers as well. Our setup here is pretty weak. Let's have a quick look in the weaponsmith and things, see if we can get anything nice. So there are actually 2 quite nice crystal balls available. +1 all attributes, plus 0.8% move speed, and +2 will, +1 all attributes. I think I'm actually just going to buy both of these. And then once we have nicer falchions available, we'll probably use them with those. We're not going to be using it with this grey falchion, however. Or any of these white falchions. So yeah guys, as I said, I'm not entirely sure what to do with the series anymore. I was mostly just doing Warlock because I was so attached to it, as we hadn't lost our inner gear at all yet from our very first run on Warlock. However, at this point, I'm definitely much more open to playing any other class, or any class, basically. So if you'd like to see a class in particular, although I prefer not to play Wizard because I just seem to die all the time on Wizard in Goblin Caves. I don't know why I'm so bad at that class. Anyway. Let me know in the comments, and we'll definitely think about what we can play in the next video. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next one.